What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience Podcast, where we connect with our Capoeira community and we help you to motivate yourself so you can push a little bit more, you can train more, and you can keep that motivation with Capoeira and keep this connection with this beautiful art in our community. This is your host, Instructor Kashishi from Capoeira Brazil Indianapolis. And thank you so much for the support and keep listening our podcast. So today I have the pleasure to interview a capoeirista from Amsterdam. Capoeira changed his life completely, gave him an opportunity to take a different course in his life. He has about 10 years doing capoeira and he has a really good work in Europe with kids and adults. He's a really good example that capoeira can help us to change our life. I want to introduce you to Instructor Tom from Capoeira Batuque Capoeira Amsterdam. How are you doing, man?
Hey, Salve. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Of course. Thank you so much for reaching out and willing to be in the podcast.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Of course. So I like to start the interviews with a story, with your story. But before we jump to that, what are your social medias? How people can find you?
So my group is, like you said, Batuque Capoeira Holland. It's
Okay.
very easy. We have the same website, which is capoeiraholland.com. And Instagram is also Batuque Capoeira or Batuque Capoeira Holland. You can find us. And my personal Instagram is Tum Energia.
Nice.
You might see below later. You
Nice.
can find us and we'll visit the group.
Nice, awesome. And so, what is your story, your capoeira story from the beginning and until now? And you can start however you want. Tell us who you are.
Well, my name is Energia, which is my capoeira name, and which
Oh, okay, nice.
kind of combines what describes me in capoeira. So as a kid, I was like really into martial arts, like Bruce Lee and stuff. And
Nice.
but I was from a very small village, and I didn't know any martial art back then. You only had like karate and boxing, and that's it, and judo. So we played this game, Tekken. You might know it, yeah, Tekken 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course. So I was playing and being like, wow. And I had two older brothers, and I saw this Eddie Gordo.
Oh, man.
Nobody knew what was capoeira back then. So we were like, yeah, that's Eddie, the crazy dance fighter. So I was
Yeah.
all playing Eddie and doing stuff. And I wanted to train martial arts. So I had this one friend at school, and he did karate or taekwondo or something. And I said to my mom, can I train with this guy? And can I do it as well? And my mom said, no martial arts. You can play hockey and play piano, and that's it, man. So skip forward 10 years later, I was like 16, 17, and I moved out of the house to go to college or something. How do you call it? A university or whatever.
Okay.
And the first thing I did, I was like, man, I want to do martial arts. So I was with my friends. I was into the heavy metal scene back then and doing some mosh pit stuff. I was like, I've never been an aggressive guy, so I wanted to do something different, And then I saw this capoeira and I remembered, man, capoeira, that's what I want to do. So I Googled
Nice.
capoeira Arnhem, and I get into contact with my professor, Chris Verminoso. And I said, man, when can I start training capoeira? And I entered the hall imagining like I would learn all these crazy flips and spin kicks.
Yeah.
And the first thing I heard when I walked up the stairs was the binimbau. I was like, wow,
Oh,
man. The first time you hear the binimbau, I was like, what? And then I heard the
yeah.
guy Paranaway and zoom, like I saw in the movie, like only the strong and stuff. I'm like, whoa, this is like I saw in the movie. This is real thing.
Yeah.
Hype, man. And I was like in the Horda, and my teacher sometimes he's still laughing at me, like the face I made back then. And
Big
that's how
eyes, I bet. Like, was like,
know.
man,
And I started training every day immediately. I was
that's
like,
awesome.
I dived into it like I'm gonna absorb all of this, and then later I learned to control it more, and stuff. But and as I told you, it wasn't a good period for me back then. I was kicked out of high school. I was
Okay.
smoking a lot of weed, which is kind of normal in Holland, but I didn't train any sports. I was really fragile,
Okay.
really like 60 kilos, and only smoking weed and drinking. And thanks to capoeira, I found like purpose, and I got
Nice.
it seriously, man. Because I want to do all these flips and these kicks, so I got to be healthy. So I
Yeah.
quit smoking, I quit drinking, I quit weed and drugs, and I started focusing on my school and my job. And 10 years
Yes.
later, I'm working with capoeira.
Yeah. So how old were you when you started like smoking weed and all, and drinking a lot and all that?
and it's kind of weird because like I had two older brothers, and I
Yeah.
was 14, 15. I just came from just started high school, and I was smoking, weed like once a week, twice a week, and then when I started living on my own, right before I started doing capoeira, it was daily at
Oh wow.
school,
Okay.
after school. It was the only thing on my mind. I didn't have money. I didn't have clothes or friends. I was all alone in the city, doing this university, this school.
Yeah.
The only thing I had, because I didn't have any sports or hobbies or music, so the only thing I did was just sit in my room, play games and smoke. And I
Yeah.
knew it wasn't good, but it was an escape. It was an escape from reality.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you smoke and drink by that time, right?
Yeah, by that, yeah, yeah. But drinking wasn't, in Holland, it's kind of not just drinking. I wasn't like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
alcohol addict or whatever. And even the weed, it was just, a few a day. So,
Yeah.
uh, but back then I thought I was like, for my age, it was normal. But now when I see kids 15, 16, I'm like, wow, I was way too young, man. I was way
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Back then, didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we're on that age and we do those kind of stuff, because I started drinking when I was like 15, 16,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
I started drinking like almost every day until I was like, man, I think this is enough.
Yeah.
Then now I see back and same thing. I'm like, man, I was a child, pretty much.
Shit, man. I still
Yeah.
am. I still am though. But that back then I was like a real kid, and yeah, I thought I had it all figured out. But then I met capoeira, and I was like, wow, this is what I have to do. I don't care how, but this is what I have to do.
Yeah, yeah. So you smoke and drink before capoeira?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So and capoeira pretty much like took you out of those kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's awesome. And now, was that like that moment from the first day when you say like, I really like this
Capoeira.
capoeira, capoeira? Yeah,
Man, it was it was all I imagined and even more. I saw these guys doing these kicks and like the Mealu and the Carousel and the Alsuma. I was like, man, this is the stuff, man. This is Eddie Gordo. This is the real deal.
yeah, yeah. So
It's
pretty much like Eddie Goro on life.
exactly, and it's just like with girls. We all say like you fall for someone's personality, but the truth is, just like girls in capoeira, you fall for the looks, you fall for the capoeira kicks and the stuff and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
backflips, and then you get to know capoeira, and then you fall for the the
yeah,
inner music, the language, the philosophy, the manjinga, and
yeah.
yeah, the deeper you go, the more you get to know capoeira.
Yeah, exactly. The deeper you go, more you love and more you like, and you want to know more.
Exactly, just like with a relation, whether a guy or a girl or whatever,
Yeah,
you see someone, you're like, oh, they're pretty, and that's what I thought of capoeira, the kicks. I thought it was cool, but then I started loving the music, and then some injuries happened, and then you have to appreciate other things in capoeira.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So then, um, same thing happened with me when I started capoeira. The first time I saw capoeira, uh, so I saw all the backflips, and this guy was like talking about macaco and nau, and I was like, what the hell this guy is talking about? Then when I saw, I was like, dude, I gotta learn this stuff.
exactly.
Then
Yeah,
the guy gave me like a paperwork to like fill out for like a disclaimer stuff. And at
yeah.
the very end was like, give me the reasons why you wanna do capoeira. And I just did. I wanna learn backflips. And then that was
Everyone.
like yeah, like the first probably the first year. And then after that was like, man. Then there was the beating bow, and then was like the hot, and then there was the music, and then the culture, and then man. Now I don't even know where I want to start. It's so much stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So then now coming to the present, um, I want to break the interview in two parts. So the first part is going to be about capoeira, how you capoeira story, how is the capoeira community there in Amsterdam and all stuff. And the second part is going to be how you handle everything behind curtains. Because I think you have a pretty good work. Like we were talking before the interview, you are doing pretty much full time capoeira,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much almost. If someone start teaching, I'm pretty sure someone wants to get there. So how do you get from day one or when you start teaching to full time? How do you get there?
So for me, the thing was, well, I'm like a all or nothing guy, you know, with everything. Just like training capoeira or training whatever, it's either 200% or zero. So I was thinking about, you know, I want to train more, and I was traveling and training and going to Brazil and everything. And then one day, my master, he called me. He said, "Hey, Anasia, I need to talk to you." Okay, you know. And he said, "We have this group in a city far in the north, and I need you to teach there." So I was like, "Okay, cool. I have to do one class." You know, I did some classes when my teacher was ill or injured, so I was okay. He said, "No, no, no, permanently
Oh,
to
wow.
take over the group." I was like, "Wow, what happened?" "Yeah, the current instructor, he's moving and stuff's happening, you know. So there's a group there, 3 or 4 people. It's a small group, but
Nice.
yeah, we need someone to like take it over and
Yeah.
start breathing some new life into it." And I was like so flabbergasted because back then my rank was I was just doing capoeira for 6 years maybe.
Okay.
It was a short time, and there were other instructors above me, and I was like, why don't you ask them? He says, "Yeah, they're great capoeirista, but you're a teacher." And I was also studying to be an elementary teacher, and
Oh, cool. Okay.
and my passion is to teach. You know, I love teaching and
That's
getting
dope.
people involved, you know, and to find their own path, and I just love it. And he said, "Yeah, I want you to do this." So I went there. I said to these guys, "Man, I can never fill the shoes of your current instructor, but together we can try to get some, you know, plant some new seeds of capoeira and nourish them and see what happens." So I
Yeah.
started teaching just for fun once a week with 3 students, and I
Okay.
had a 2-hour drive. I teach one class and 2-hour drive back. So it
Oh,
was
wow.
lost a lot of money, but I was like, okay, I want to do this. It's my passion.
Yeah.
And just with a lot of dedication, then the group grew, and it went 5 people, 10 people, and
Oh,
12 people.
wow.
And I started teaching kids, man. And I had the kids class, the first kids class. I didn't do any promotion like big, and I thought like, oh, I hope some kids come, you know. And it was like 10 minutes before time, and no one showed up. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
it's coming, you know. 5 minutes before time, no one. And then 10 kids showed up,
oh,
and
wow.
I couldn't even believe it. I was like, "Are you guys
Yeah.
here for capoeira?" "Yes, we're here for capoeira." Like, okay, wow, let's go. And then the
Nice.
kids, man, it blew. I have like 30 kids now. I don't know
Oh,
about
cool.
Holland. That's a lot, man. I have a lot of kids,
Yeah.
and like 15 adults in that city now. And I still remember the days when I went there with 3 people, you know, traveling and training and doing
Yeah.
everything myself, showing everything by myself, and with one girl helped me a lot. And now I have this huge group there. I have kids doing backflips, playing
That's
berimbau,
awesome.
and going to batizados, and yeah. Then I started teaching other cities, and I had some hard time, man. I started in a new city, and I was like, I'm gonna give it 200%.
Yeah.
And first class, and I went on TV, national TV, and I
Yeah.
was in a newspaper and promotion. I promoted out of it, and no one showed up.
Oh.
And next week, no one showed up, and the next week, no one showed up. And
Oh, man.
I cried, man. I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
with all this passion, you know, to teach, to do capoeira in the city, and no one showed up. You know, it wasn't like they showed up and they hated capoeira, but they just did
Yeah.
no one. And then I decided, okay, now I can cry, or I can just put on music and train because I'm paying for the hall anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know, so let's go for it. So I went there every week, traveling 45 minutes, knowing that nobody would show up. And still I went, I put on the music, I trained by myself, I went home, and I repeated next week. And I kept doing that for half a year. So six.
Oh.
Most people would have quit the first month, I think, but I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
do this, I'm going to do this. And then a few kids showed up, and then it started growing, you know, and we had this mark, and I was like, okay, let's. I realized that this city wasn't big enough for capoeira. There wasn't any well, people intending to do capoeira, but I'm really happy that I stick through it, even with
Yeah.
no going up for half a year. And now I have a lot of capoeira workshops in that region because I once planted a seed there. So yeah, I think the best way for me, at least in teaching, is you know, not talent or luck or promotion. Even the more I promote, the worse it was. But I think just, I don't stop. That's my problem, and I just don't stop. I just keep
Yeah.
on, you know.
Yeah. How do you have those kids there and the other city of the two-hour city?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do you ever ask them like how do you know about capoeira?
It's all how do you say mouth to mouth, like
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
so the parents, they go to this school and they're like, wow, my kid is doing something so cool, and this guy is it's so funny, and he's teaching them all these life lessons and things about the harder, and you should try it. And then they bring new kids, and I was at this one point, I'm like, man, I cannot handle any more kids. It's too much, man. There's 30 kids running around. I'm like,
Wow.
you know, but it's beautiful, man. It's cool. And then the parents, they're watching the kids, and
Yeah.
the parents were like, I want to give it a try too. So
Oh,
then
cool.
now I have even parents training with their kids together, and it's beautiful to see that,
That's
man.
awesome. That's awesome. Do you ever like have like a night over capoeira for kids and parents?
Yeah, yeah. Once a year we have it's called the annual parent kid event. It sounds better in Dutch though, and it's we get all the parents, and then my teacher, my professor of Eminoso, he comes, or my master Vladimir, and they give a special class for my students
Okay.
with parents, and it's like 60, 70 people walking
Oh,
around. It's really
wow.
cool. Big hall, but it's completely full. And we get some drinks and we get some food, and it's just basics because I want the parents to experience what their kids are doing, to
Yeah,
not
yeah. That's
to
awesome.
feel capoeira. They don't
Yeah.
have to train capoeira after that, but they just get this moment where they completely understand what it is their kids are learning and doing.
Yeah.
And them after the class are really interested in participating or training or traveling with us to events or yeah.
That's awesome. Plus that kind of like connect a little bit the parents with the kid.
Yeah, exactly. To have this moment because I think it's beautiful as a parent to be able to connect with your child in that
Oh, for
way.
sure.
Uh,
Yeah. Then do you have like a limit for kids when you are by yourself?
no.
Just as many as you can.
Yeah, but nowadays sometimes I'm like, okay, this is too much. But the thing is, the core of the group, like 15 kids, they're training for a few years, so they're like how do you say, properly raised.
Okay,
So they
okay.
know how to buy the game and how to listen and how. So when new kids come, they copy this behavior. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Okay.
it's never too busy or negative in what way because none of the kids the kids just see and repeat. Monkey
Yeah.
see, and they see all these kids sitting and waiting and not speaking when I speak and buying the game and looking and being careful. So when new kids come, they copy this behavior, and that way I can expand without like overstressing.
Yeah, yeah. So you have the kids pretty much connecting with other kids and like they copying
Exactly.
and all that. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. That's a pretty good smart way to do it. Because sometimes when it's too many kids and one just one that one
Yeah.
that start
Yeah.
getting like too hyper,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like contagious.
Yeah. But it's good, And the thing with the
That's awesome.
kids is that they like to have some kind of structure, and it's hard
Yeah.
because Canada has structure without having structure. We have
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I always say we don't have rules. We have like a table manners. How do you say? So in Capoeira,
Yeah.
everything is allowed, but it doesn't mean you should do it. You can
True.
give
Yeah, yeah.
hashtera, but it doesn't mean you should do it every day. And that's
Exactly.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, even for adults to be like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's a boundary, but it's not a boundary and it's not a rule. But it's still a rule.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I do with the kids always, instead of telling the rules, like this is what you should do, I always ask them, what do you think we do with capoeira? What's the goal? And why? Especially the why is the biggest question ever. Why? Why
Yeah.
would you buy the game and throw a carousel, because you're
Yeah,
having a
yeah.
and you're like, instead of saying, hey man, how are you? You enter with, my favorite thing of this week was this.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see someone, you're like, hey, how are you? And then,
Yeah.
you start having a conversation, and then you get a tricky question like, hey, what do you think of politics?
Yeah.
It's the same as a capoeira game. And then kids understand it, and with the why, they get, okay, these uh, are rules, but, like, how do you say, ways of behavior.
Yeah, yeah. You kind of can play with the rules without skipping them too hard.
Yeah. And without
Yeah.
making them too, because that's the beauty of capoeira, that it's not so
Yeah.
strict,
Yeah, exactly.
Find
Yeah.
your own rules within the river of capoeira, man.
Yeah, yeah. I always explain people like capoeira is the unique about capoeira is not square as the other martial arts.
Mhm.
We can call it martial arts because we kick and we have a system and we have a like core system. Or at least some groups have core system. Then we have the uniform and all stuff.
Mhm.
But more for us that have been there for a long time is more like lifestyle, kind of like a cultural martial art.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So then now that's the part of the classes. Now let's jump to the part how you handle the classes. Okay. So do you have any kind of like non-profit, or do you have any entity there for your school?
Sorry, go on. Entity? What do you mean?
Yeah, like for example, like a non-profit, or you have like a company that represents capoeira.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's three things actually.
Okay.
First off, there's the group, like Batuque Capoeira,
Okay.
which is with my master, Mestre Vladimir, Contramestre Salsicha, my professor Verminoso, and then it expands to the different instructors. We're like in 15 cities now. And I
Okay.
think the strength is that divided in all these cities, there's so much unity. We're one
That's
group
awesome.
with one vision and one style and one connection. So we do everything
That's awesome.
together. A lot of communication. I think that's really powerful about our group and structures, that we communicate a lot. It's not like I'm doing my thing and he's doing his thing and she's
Yeah,
doing her thing. We're doing one thing to just level capoeira in general. Besides that, there's the part of the business side, which is I'm an entrepreneur. So
okay,
like by myself, I have my own company, which
okay,
is, we have like the group, and then I have my part, which is Capoeira Energia, and I teach my classes under that name. And if people want workshops or we have demonstrations, then they call my company or they end up in the company. But I
okay,
do everything under the name of the group.
okay.
Whether
And
they call my colleague in another city, it's always
okay,
Batuque.
okay, okay. And is that company like a non-profit, or is it like a company?
Yeah, it's a company. So this is we also have a non-profit organization.
Oh, cool.
We
Okay,
have different projects. Like we have a lot of projects to help people to volunteer, to help kids or help expats or whatever. But that's the third thing I was talking about. And my thing is just it's a company. So people ask for like a class or a workshop,
okay.
charge them, and we provide the workshop or the class or the demonstration or whatever it might be, and that's what I make a living of. So yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
that's
And
my living.
for example, like here in the US, is almost all the company one of the structure how we can structure a company
Mm-hmm.
is LLC, which is a limited liability company. So
Okay,
how do you call those there in Europe or in Amsterdam?
I'm not sure. The thing I'm doing is called it's ZZP. So it means you have a company by yourself. You
Okay,
don't have any employees, so I cannot have employees, and you can do your business. You have
okay,
to keep track of all your finances and all your clients and
okay.
customers. And then you just do like a workshop. You say, okay, well, we can do this in this day. Like we have workshops almost every day nowadays. It's crazy. And we travel to all these schools and businesses. We do the job. We send the bill, I think it's called.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just send the bill to them, and they pay, and that's it. And then yeah,
Okay, okay. So yeah,
what
here
part is
I'm sorry, go
so
ahead.
you have to pay that I myself am responsible for my pension, for when I get ill, for my holiday money. I have to pay everything. So
Okay.
there's no help from the government. They help if you make under a certain amount of money. They can help you. You get something back from the taxes. You don't have to pay taxes in that case. But in my case, I just pay a lot of taxes, and the risk is mine. So if I break my leg, I have a
You just
problem.
try to not to.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, here's like a solopreneurship, I think it's called here. Yeah.
Solo, exactly.
Okay, okay. No, that's awesome. Because and how do you approach like schools? Do you use the nonprofit or use the company?
We use the company for all the commercial activities.
Okay,
So
including schools.
yeah, like schools and
Okay,
businesses. Like for example, they have like an ICT company or a computer company or whatever, and they want to do a field trip. They want to do something special. They call Capoeira. We do a workshop with them, or like the festival I was talking about with the DJ and
okay,
do a performance. and
Yeah.
we just send a bill, they pay, and that's our work. And if you have like special things like demonstrations or something political or something with refugees, for example, that's
Okay.
all. That's all. Just
Oh.
and help people. Yeah.
So use the nonprofit more for like scope for something like the city.
Yeah. Well, more so for any yeah, like non-profit activities for people who we can help with capoeira, like refugees. A lot of refugees in
Okay.
Holland. We can do non-profit activities for them, like workshops, or small schools or small businesses who don't have a lot of money.
Okay.
We can use a non-profit organization, or if we have a special demonstration for political ends or something, that's always through the non-profit organization. And most things are like businesses. It's just like the solo.
Okay.
It's like I was telling you, it's solo, but it's not solo because I do my solo
Yeah.
thing, my colleague, but we're all like one mind, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome that you all of you work for just one vision, which is capoeira.
Exactly, yeah. And there's so much working together. So, for instance, if I have a show, a capoeira show, I
Okay.
cannot do it myself. So I call my colleagues, my instructors, my
Oh, that's
teachers,
awesome.
come to help, and we do this crazy performance. And then another week they call me, hey, can you help me? I have a show. I need some people. Can you do some flips, whatever? And we get over there, and no one pays anyone.
Okay.
It's collaboration. No one keeps track. Like, you help me 3 times. I'm gonna help you only 3 times or once or whatever.
Yeah,
We're all in there for capoeira. If anyone is able to help, we all help. So it means a lot of traveling, a lot of, and that's why that's the cool thing that we see each other a lot because
oh,
it's not
that's
like
true. Yeah,
it's like hours away. And my master lives in another city hours away, but because we help each other with demonstrations, with workshops, we get this connection.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty much a lot of goals for a lot of schools to have that connection with your mastery and have that connection even with your own school. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm really happy we have this structure.
Oh yeah, that and that definitely works because so everyone help each other to grow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that's how you can, like back in the day when I started off, my teacher would come and visit, and they would help me if I have any events because I didn't have any students. If I would do
Yeah,
a demonstration with only 2 students, so all these
yeah,
other students came from different cities, and someday some other guy is going to start a new city because now I'm like the youngest instructor. Maybe another one will come, and I will help them to develop their uh,
okay,
to don't have this empty gym, to have some
yeah,
people perform, and then grow his group. Because in the long term, it's going to benefit all of us.
that's true. Yeah, yeah,
Benefit Capoeira, and that's the most important thing.
yeah. Because at the end of the day, whenever you have an event,
Yeah,
then all these people can come to your event, and all their people comes to, then that
exactly.
helps.
Yeah,
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 no, that helps a lot. Plus, I just feel like us as a human being, we follow crowd. So if we see a class that is 10, 15 people, even if they all already do capoeira, you're like, what's as a bunch of group people doing bunch of kicks there.
yeah,
So that attracts a lot of the is eye catching.
yeah. Nice.
So how do you think of should someone start with a nonprofit or a company? Someone start to teaching.
To
What do you
be
think
honest,
is easier for you?
I think if at any point you consider or your master considers you're ready to teach capoeira in what kind of way, like helping out or starting, I think the first thing you should ever focus on is just teaching for a while and feel whether it's a good thing for you. If it feels good, if you can feel the how people react to you teaching and to
Yeah,
your lessons, and if at one point you're like, okay, this is working for me and it feels good. I want to do this for a longer time. And I always started teaching capoeira. Not, I never had the vision to live from capoeira, like make it
okay,
my.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
started teaching because I love teaching. The
that's
first
awesome.
the first year I lost money on teaching. I was paying more travel expenses because I had only 3 students and I was traveling 2 hours and
Yeah,
2 hours. I never started teaching and thinking about business. But
okay,
then at this point when I had like schools calling me to do workshops and I had to call my teacher to use his business number, to
okay,
make it because they cannot just give me cash, they
yeah,
need
yeah,
know. So and then came this point where my teacher said, okay, man, you're borrowing my stuff, you should start your own business.
Yeah.
So I think it's the best way is to let it come naturally. If
Okay.
you teaching and you're already thinking about making a business, then you're doing capoeira for the wrong reasons, I believe. I think
Okay. Okay.
because you love teaching, and then you hit a certain level where you're like, okay, I cannot. This is not a hobby anymore. This is too much, and then you
Yeah.
start in business. And then I think the best way to do is uh, in parlay with your master and his visions, because yeah, he was my example. So I didn't really come up with it. I just followed the footsteps of my teachers before me,
Yeah.
and great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm sorry I didn't really answer the question, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta feel and see how people want to start, right?
yeah, because capoeira is like it's beautiful, but not everyone uh, needs or wants or has to teach capoeira.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
I think you can be a great professor or whatever and never teach capoeira. I know
Yeah.
great professors and professoras who are really good at teaching, but they don't have the time or priority or feeling to teach on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
and there's some people who aren't really, like in my case, I wasn't really there yet. I wasn't really mature in capoeira. I didn't have
Yeah.
a professor court, but I have this feeling and passion for teaching. So it kind of came natural. And I think your master is the best one, and your teacher, your professor, whoever is the best one to know when this moment is there. Just like your new court, you can
Yeah.
feel ready in a new court, but your teacher, he always knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, well, man, I'm ready, and then you're gonna be like,
And so,
not
like,
yet.
I'm not ready. I still need some years. And then there's this court, and you're like, wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes speaking about the core is like probably the message like tells you like you can get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then no, that's awesome, man. And how do you use advertising for those classes? How do you reach people? How do you reach the public for your classes?
For the regular classes, I always do anything I can do to promote capoeira. But the funny thing is, it's not with the mindset to promote capoeira. It's just because I love doing it. So first, when they did the first workshops, they called me in the first demonstrations in the city I was teaching. There are like 2 or 3 other groups in the same city. It's not a big city, and they are all masters. So I was like, who am I? I'm
Yeah,
nobody. And then I started growing and growing and growing because every time the city had anything, I always said yes, always. I always
of
went,
course.
even if I had to pay more travel expenses than I got, I didn't care. I just went there because I love doing capoeira, and I
Nice.
wanted to water these plants, water
Yeah,
the
yeah,
plants. And then they saw me all this time, like, wow, this guy, yeah, let's call him. We have a bigger event. He was good at the small event. Let's call him again. And then it grows, man. And then they offer you bigger assignments, bigger contracts, and bigger events. And that's how you reach a wider audience. I don't have any shortcuts. I don't really use promotions or anything. I use Google. Google, right?
yeah.
The Google Business reviews because it was free, and I sincerely believe if you try to do good and you have passion in what you do, that people will appreciate that.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
I did all these workshops like for a really low price and said, okay, whatever you thought of it, whatever you're going to think of it, just give me an honest review on Google. And
Nice. Okay.
you cannot delete any reviews on Google. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's very honest opinion. And I got my first reviews, and they were all 5 stars. I have like 40 of them, and they're all 5 stars, all from
That's
customers.
awesome, man.
Not about, it's not about the cool flips or whatever, or the great knowledge of capoeira. It's always the passion, the enthusiasm, and the drive for capoeira that's so contagious. It's like a virus.
Yeah.
I go there every time, 200%. I share this passion, and people just like it so much. They leave a review, and people read this, and they start training, and they Google capoeira in Amsterdam or in the city I teach, and they
Yeah.
find a group. They see
That's
these
dope.
reviews, and they're like, okay, let's give it a try.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure are like, hey, like give me referrals and see who who I can teach too, right?
Sorry, come again.
Like after you finish a workshop, that
Mm-hmm.
person you tell that person like, hey, do you know someone I can teach another workshop? like a referral.
Yeah, I always ask them, so what do you think of capoeira? And they're like, wow, I thought it was cool, but it was way cooler. And they always say, because they know what to expect. They know to see the kicks,
Yeah,
they know to see the backflips, they know to get the bidding bow, but they don't know what I think is most important, the lessons underneath the techniques. So the lessons
yeah,
about getting out of your comfort zone. Try to do a bananera for the first time, which is
yeah,
great for business people and some kids even nowadays, and how to get this philosophy of not winning and not competing in capoeira, but
yeah.
playing. So then they're like, wow, this really struck me, that it's not only the kicks and the cool stuff, but it's the lessons you teach these kids besides capoeira. And then I asked them, okay, what do you think of that? They say, yeah, it's really cool. I said, do you think other people should experience
Get
this as well?
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So tell everyone.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
that's,
awesome. Yeah,
and I don't give them like a card or a flyer or like promotion stuff. I just say, if you speak to anyone and you remember this next week, just tell them. And that's
that's
when the phone
awesome.
say like, hey man, I heard about you. Do you want to teach here? And I'm really grateful for all the good things.
Yeah, no, that's
Just
awesome.
yeah, that's how the circle goes, man.
Yeah. In how do you see the capoeira community there where you live? Is do you think it's stronger with like all groups, all capoeira in general?
Yeah, so for a small country, I believe capoeira in Holland is pretty big, man. It's pretty known.
That's
Like
awesome.
everyone, when you say capoeira, they say, "Ah, yeah, no, it's like Brazilian fake fighting or dancing," But and a lot of groups, some cities, they even have like a few thousand civilians. They have like 3 or 4 capoeira groups.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's a lot, man. They have different masters, different teachers, different philosophies. I try to travel to different groups and events to experience different ways of capoeira, and I always encourage my students to do the same, especially
That's
within
awesome.
our to go to my master, but also outside the group.
Yeah.
But within Europe, we go to France like 5 times a year. We go to Germany. We go to different
Wow.
events with the friends of my master, and they have a great collaboration. So my master teaches at their Batizado event.
Yeah,
Those masters from France and Germany, they come to teach at our Batizado event.
that's awesome.
Same thing happens. Everyone is helping each other.
I
No
think
one is.
that's why the capoeira community is so big in Europe.
Yeah, I think so too. Because well, not everyone is doing it this way, which is definitely not the best or the worst way. It's just our way. But I think this is our strong point. The communication and the trying to help other people and
Oh, for
visit,
sure.
investing time and energy into capoeira, and then it always comes back, man. It's
Oh,
like
for
karma.
sure. Yeah.
Uh, I think there's also some, how do you say, when things are divided between
Yeah.
groups. So like there's a group in 2 groups in the same city, and they never meet. They
Huh,
both do.
that's crazy. Yeah, I've seen that
So,
before.
but I think it's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just people have their own way in capoeira, their
Yeah.
own group. There's
Their
no
opinions. Yeah.
So that's there's no negativity like that's a bad group or anything. No,
Yeah.
nothing like that. But just this is our way and that's their way, and we're all capoeira. And if we see each other, it's all good. But yeah, it's
That's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, because man, every time I see a picture of France, Hungary, Holland,
yeah.
Germany, I see those big ass events. I'm like, man, the capoeira is. I feel that capoeira in Europe is probably like two, three times bigger than Brazil.
And
What do you think?
it might feel that way, but well, at least from what I experienced in Brazil, it's not completely true. But I have been in some cities in Brazil, like in Salvador and
Okay.
Fortaleza. I was training in Salvador, and I thought like, wow, this is the birthplace of capoeira. And then there was a class with 3 people
Oh wow.
or 5 people. I'm like, wow, we have bigger classes. What's happening here? But there
Yeah.
are so many groups and so many masters, and all these people are so divided. Of course, they're big groups, but
Of course.
I didn't get to train with them back there. I was just traveling. I even went to the Academy of Master Beam and stuff, and just 3 or 4 people. I was like, wow, maybe I have a
Oh
bad day,
wow.
timing. So yeah, I think capoeira in Europe is big. It's big in cities, but also in the small villages. Capoeira has reached even the most outer places.
That's awesome.
But yeah, of course, the view we give people with the events, the pictures, that's the big events.
Yeah.
real life is also, just doing capoeira with 2 or 3 people in a class, or 10 people, and the real
Okay.
capoeira.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Is my point is like the capoeira community is very tight. So when you see all these groups coming to big events, like you said, coming to those events, and you see at least like 50 people in one event.
It's especially our group. Everyone says in capoeira is a family.
Oh,
Everyone
for
says,
sure.
but me, capoeira is like really a family, man. I even
Yeah,
my trainer, my friend, Chris Minoso. I see him more often than I see my dad or my brothers.
that's
I
funny.
crash at his place all the time. When I used to train, I was crashing there every week. We travel together. We go to Brazil together. We eat together. We swim together. We train together. We laugh together. We cry together. Everything.
That's awesome.
So this is really cool. We go to restaurants with the capoeira group. We go to the cinema with the capoeira group.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
a capoeira group. I'm getting married in 2 months, and I'm inviting capoeira people, like
That's funny.
capoeira people, and then I don't even have regular friends. It's just capoeira people, and it's that's the family. It's beautiful. And if something
Yeah.
happens, we help each other. So, for instance, a very dear friend of mine, he had a stroke a while ago.
Oh wow.
He's a great capoeirista. He's been training, and all the people visiting him, because he only had one family member in the country. They were all capoeira people who coming to
Wow,
his
that's crazy. That's
rec,
cool.
bringing acai, helping him, cooking for him, and
That's
so everyone
really
just
cool.
just helped each other. Even I even helped build the house for my teacher. He was like moving and constructing, and he had all these capoeira people working with him. It's just
Wow, that's awesome.
feel like a family. So it's more than the training and helping each other at events and workshops, but
Yeah.
more so even outside of that.
So you think capoeira like one of the things that capoeira can help you is like having connections, having friends, and meeting new people.
Yeah, yeah, more than anything, especially for me. Like, I told you the story when I was like 16, 17. I
Yeah.
didn't have friends, man. I moved like way up country and I didn't know anyone. And I was kind of lonely. And thanks to capoeira, I found people to connect with the same mindset. And the most important thing I think about capoeira is that everyone accepts you for who you are. In capoeira, you can
Yeah.
be, whether that's like me, really
Can be yourself.
and energetic, and no one is like slowing you down. Like, be
Yeah.
calm. Like school, you always have to sit calm, shut up,
Yeah.
listen. And in capoeira, it's like if you're like going, wow, I don't know, everyone's like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what capoeira was for me, a place to just be me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like for example, like I always say this in every episode. Like capoeira also like changed my life because I used to be like such a shy kid, and today's day, man, I don't care. I start talking to people, like even to strangers.
exactly, man. And that's
Yeah.
that's capoeira lets people who are like really extrovert be. And I also have a student now. He's like he didn't want to go into the roda. He was
Yeah.
afraid of the roda. He saw it he was afraid. And I was like, okay, you don't have to go no roda. It's capoeira. You
Yeah.
can play, you can train, you can do whatever you want. Nothing is a must. Everything is okay. And
Yeah.
then you just stepped into the roda.
That's awesome.
And he became this really shy kid, and now he's like if I'm like who wants to show a bananera, he's the first one to go. He's
That's
like
awesome.
I want to do it. And months ago he was like this, man. And I think that's beautiful about capoeira, man. I even we had the show last Saturday for 8,000 people, and one of my
Wow.
students, yeah, I just want to play music. I don't want to play capoeira because people are watching. I'm like, okay, sure. And then the second show is like, yeah, I really want to play. And he stage, man, with the
That's
camera,
awesome.
the
Yeah.
people, and yeah, it's that. I think that's capoeira is a
They
perfect place.
feed with that energy.
Exactly, yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And do you have any events coming up? Like yours.
Yeah, we have next. Wait, no, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We have the annual children festival camp.
Okay.
So we have all the children from our group
Okay.
divided in all the cities. So I have like kids there and kids there, and over 100 kids. They come to this 2-day festival where they have a sleepover and they have capoeira quiz, capoeira hordas, capoeira playtime, capoeira everything capoeira related, and they all get together. So
Okay.
again, the community, not like the kids from Amsterdam, the kids from Rotterdam, the kids from The Hague. but all the kids together, all combined, and just 2 days with all the instructors having fun out in the sun, having some water fights, having rodas, of course, practicing instruments, and that's a really cool event. It's called the kids event, but I think the adults enjoy it more sometimes. It's these kids, man, it's beautiful.
We just
Um,
become big kids.
that they sometimes kids are the best teachers, man.
Yeah, oh, for
Sometimes
sure.
the kids teach me more than I teach them in capoeira class, just by observing them and the way
Oh,
they
yeah.
play and the way they think outside of the box. Sometimes they do things in order. I'm like, wow, I would never have thought about doing that, man.
Yeah,
And then it's okay because it's capoeira. No one
yeah,
tells
exactly.
you how to do stuff. Like a beginner doing an armada and kicking with the second leg, like Meruch French.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
You never do that when you know how to do armada, and then someone comes in and he turns it. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, that works.
Sometimes,
It still kicks.
so yeah, and sometimes in the Hoda, I have more trouble with the beginner because they're so uncontrolled and unpredictable.
Yes,
With
yes.
advanced player, you see the shoulder dropping, it's going to be Meluch Compasso.
And
And
it goes
with
cachada.
yeah, exactly. With beginners and kids, sometimes they do this crazy things. I'm like, wow, sure,
Yeah. No, their imagination is really cool.
it's cool, and the way they interact with each other and see capoeira sometimes. I learn from that every time, man. I try to keep learning from that as well.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Like you said, they are like really good teachers.
Yeah, they are. So, and other besides that, we have our Batizado event, but it's going to be in the fall, so it's going to be a bit later.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and a lot of festivals, man. We have every year we do these demonstrations and shows on the festivals, like dance festivals, and they want to get a capoeira act. And I think those are like really fun, because we stay at the festival for a week with my friends, and we just have a great time. And we do a demonstration every evening, and we do some workshops, and then we do a lot of improvisation. So we walk around the site, and then when it feels okay, people are playing djembe and stuff. We're like, okay, let's do some
Nice.
capoeira,
Oh,
and it
cool.
just happens, and yeah, I think those are really cool events, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. And a few questions before we wrap it up. So these question is going to be divided in two. So this is going to be advices for people. Like the first part of the question is, what would you advise for people that never done capoeira before?
Wow, man. Just give it a try. I have a
Okay.
lot of emails and people like, I want to do capoeira, but I'm not flexible. Or I want to do capoeira, but I'm not strong. Or I want to
Yeah.
do capoeira, but I'm not good at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you going to start capoeira? Because you're good at it, just, I want to do capoeira on the 1st of January, or after I lose 10 pounds, or after I quit
Yeah.
smoking, or then. And
Yeah.
like I told you before, I'm always a 100% guy now.
Yeah.
Just I quit smoking on a 25th of May, a regular day. I like 1st of January or after this party or
Yeah.
after now, today. It's the only day you have. You don't have.
Yeah.
Hoje eu tenho, amanhã não. It's the same thing we say
Yeah.
with today is the only day you have, man.
Yeah.
So go to capoeira. I went there. I was like, I didn't even know. I just asked, what do I wear? And that's it. I just went. I was like, I'll see. And this is the thing I think people should do more, not only in capoeira, but in life, to just, we say, in Holland, we say, take it by the horns, just go
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah. I
My
mean, that's true.
just
Yeah.
give it
Yeah.
a try. And what's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing, I tried out 10 different martial arts when I was doing capoeira. I went to karate, and I tried them all. I just went, and sometimes I had like, wow, this is so not for me. But then I learned something that night
Yeah.
that was for me, so I didn't waste that night, and that way I found capoeira.
Then you like, I think this is it.
Yeah, it was definitely it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And the second part of the question is, what would you advise to people that already do capoeira?
I think it's two things. First off, to always, yeah, I don't know, man, just keep falling in love with capoeira, because when you fall in love, you want to know everything about a person and cherish that and accept it, even their bad sides, their good ones, and don't take capoeira, and especially not yourself, too seriously. Just it's a progress, and it's okay. Progress doesn't go like this, man. Progress goes like this.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be downs, man. I tore my knee, my meniscus were torn, my LCL was torn, everything was broken. I have periods where my capoeira just sucks. I know to do a move and then I forget to do it. I'm like, man, but I knew how to do this.
Yeah.
And then you get frustrated because you have these expectations of yourself that you should know it or that you have to be better. You have a certain rank, but capoeira is playing. So why are you taking it so seriously? Keep on playing, keep on discovering. And besides that, I think in my experience, the best thing to have is how do you say devotion and dedication.
Okay.
Never had any talent for capoeira, man. I still don't. I never had any talent for anything whatsoever. So my capoeira line was like this. But the only thing I did, I just didn't quit. I just didn't know how to quit. I have
Yeah.
I even have movies when I was in the garden at my parents, and it was snowing in Holland. Like there was snow everywhere, and I was training Ausimao, and I was falling, and I was falling down and falling down and falling. And my mom was like, "Get inside, man!"
Yeah.
And I just kept on training, man. I didn't know how to do anything when I started. Didn't know how to do my leg couldn't go higher than this. It looked hideous. It still does though. But and I just started training a backflip. It took me a year to do a mortal.
Oh wow. Okay.
Every time, every class
Yeah.
after class, I called my teacher. He took my court and he helped me do the backflip. And then one day
Nice.
I could do it. And I just never quit. A lot of people they try something in life, especially nowadays because everything has to be fast dopamine. Like social media.
Yes.
We always want to have this quick dopamine, and if something doesn't work out the way we intend to, we just quit.
True.
And that's a mindset that doesn't get you anywhere, man, because there are going to be a lot of things hard in life. you know Learning how to drive a car is hard, going to college is hard, having a
Yep.
marriage is hard, having a job it's hard. And if you quit, then you'll never find happiness, because I found happiness through dedication. I just kept on training, and I kept on falling, and I kept on being the guy laughed at, training my bananera and falling down every second. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
okay, I can stand for 10 seconds. And I even sent videos to my teacher when I was in Brazil for the first time. I can stand for 30 seconds. Look, and I was in bananera.
Yeah.
And then I reached this minute. This I can walk on my hands for a minute, and I can turn. I can go to my head and to my hands to get a jeans, and
Nice.
not with talent, but just with every single day repetition. And you just gotta love the grind, man. Don't work towards the goal, but enjoy the grind.
Yeah.
I towards the goal too much, man. In capoeira, I wanted to be a teacher. I want to be a graduado. I wanna be a good on capoeira. I want to play berimbau. I was so looking towards the goal that I just forgot to enjoy playing capoeira.
Yeah.
And that's
Mm.
when I found out, wow, I should enjoy playing capoeira more. And then the goal will come eventually. Just repeat and wax on, wax off, and yeah.
It's gonna come by itself.
Yeah, travel, travel as well. It's very important, travel, and travel within physical form to different places, but also
Okay.
travel here and here, to, it sounds kind of crazy, but I think you know what I mean, travel and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
watch documentaries, listen to the music, capoeira music, and try to really listen to it. Not like
Yeah.
sounds, but okay, what are these people meaning by this, and what does it mean? Like we sing Luanda A and stuff, but what did Luanda mean for those people? It was more than a place, it
Yeah.
was a imaginative feeling of freedom, and yeah, I went to the senzalas in Brazil, where the slaves lived, just to experience and travel in my mind and in the past. And okay, what did capoeira mean for these people? You
Yeah.
know,
How did
so
they feel in that moment?
how did it feel in that moment? And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing, that capoeira should never become a workout. I
Yeah.
refuse to do capoeira with only jinga and a music speaker
Oh yeah.
and kicks. We do everything in Portuguese. We play our own music, because capoeira is capoeira because of all those things, because all this
Yes.
cultural history. Every time I teach, even if they say you have 30 minutes to teach capoeira once, I always speak about the history to have people understand why it is that capoeira is capoeira.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go home and I'm like, Mom, today I learned this kick. But then, okay, I learned this kick, but I also learned about this history from the slaves and from Brazil. And this, I think this is cool to travel within capoeira's history and travel within
Yeah.
capoeira's knowledge and capoeira's connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. How do you think, to last, to wrap it up? How do you think capoeira can come together? They make the capoeira community stronger.
I think we should embrace the modern age. I think things like this is awesome, man. And social media, YouTube, podcast,
Yes.
There's so much knowledge out there, and
Yeah.
there's so much connection. The world is a smaller place than it has ever been, and yet
Yes, true.
we're more disconnected than we've ever been.
That's completely true. I agree.
Yeah, so I can see all these people in my group on Facebook and Instagram, and on other groups and traveling, and but instead of being connected in this form, I should just go there and connect with them for real. And sometimes I'm
Yeah.
talking away like 4 in the morning with someone from Capoeira and have these
Oh
crazy
yeah.
conversations. You know what I mean, man. You're talking
Yeah. Yeah.
Capoeira way of life and blah blah all these things. You end up talking about nature or politics or whatever or
Yeah.
music, and that's how we should connect. So it's
True.
great that we
Yeah.
connect through internet, we connect through messages, and we should embrace this, man. We should learn from each other, uh, and, uh, and watch things. I was watching you for a while, to be honest, on social media. I was like, wow,
Oh,
this guy
nice. Thank you.
is really cool. What he's doing, he's
Thank you.
connecting people, and not, what I think is beautiful. He's not putting them into a road like, okay, you talk about this, or you leave it in the open. You're like, okay, what do
Yeah.
you want to talk about? What's your experience? Without putting how do you say, a stamp on it, without putting
Yeah.
yeah, like, you know what I mean, like putting
Yeah. Yeah.
a
Like a standard or something.
yeah, like a label on it, just so this is what it is. So connect, and to make a bigger community, I think, to embrace all ways of connection, all the variants of
That's
connection:
awesome.
social media, websites, YouTubes, podcasts, books, forums, talking to each other online, but also in person.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean that's I always say this too. That capoeira was created to bring people together. Like at the moment they ran away from the capataz to like they were about to get killed, so they went to the sensalas
Mhm.
to or the quilombos and
Yeah, yeah,
to help each other to like have community. Then being like, hey, you're running away, you have a home here.
exactly. People are made to be together. We're
True.
social
Yeah,
creatures. We
we
are
are.
social creatures, and in society, we're too much. Nowadays, the difficult thing about social media is it's promoting so much ego. And everyone's falling for. I'm falling for it a lot as well. Promoting all
Yeah,
these ego things. Look, but our capoeira or my capoeira or my. But we are social people, and it's a very, very, very lonely road if you focus only on yourself. It can be
true.
good for your
Yeah.
social media, but not for your real life and for your real happiness. So there's a cool African saying which I love, is if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together, man. That's
That's
capoeira.
awesome. I like that one.
You know that one?
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite, man. So if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And
that's really cool. I like that one.
yeah, and that's how I see capoeira, And yeah,
That's awesome, man. And so to wrap it up, what are your social medias again? How people can contact you or
so yeah,
can find you?
best thing is to just go with the group, which is Batuque Capoeira Holland. There's only one Batuque Capoeira Holland. You can see the famous picture of my master with Martelo in the Rasteira.
Yeah,
Everyone knows it. Copyright, by the way. But
yeah.
my personal things are all on TUM, which is TUM, and Energia, which is my capoeira name. Both Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, whatever. And yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's awesome, man.
to train at any of our places. If you ever find yourself in Holland, or anyone does listening to this, the doors are always open and the heart is always open to anyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I definitely want to visit Holland because have it's so much capoeira there, man. And
It's really cool, man.
yeah, I feel like I can do capoeira every day.
You honestly, even just within our group, you can do capoeira every day, and you're
That's
still
awesome.
missing classes.
That's so cool,
You
man.
have to like traveling a lot, but it's a small country. Traveling
Yeah,
is an hour, so yeah, you'll find.
yeah. That's the cool thing about like Europe. It's a lot of like it's big countries, but it's also small countries.
Small.
Everything's super close.
And it's as small as you make it, man. Me and my teacher, we had this event in Cannes, Normandy, where they had the D-Day with the Second World War. The beach, the D-Day beach.
Sounds familiar.
So it's in France, and it's like 7 hour drive, and they had this event. But we were both teaching that day, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to go to the event." I was, "I want to go to the event too." So we had our final class. We just took the car. We drove 7 hours. We
That's awesome.
arrived in the morning. We didn't sleep. We just took a coffee. We did the batizado all day long, and afterwards we drove again 7 hours.
Wow.
Driving 14 hours just to do 1 day of capoeira event. And we were like,
Without
yeah,
sleeping.
it was all worth it, without sleep. And then the next day we had to work, both of us.
Oh, crazy. Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Do it, but it's so small if you make it small.
Yeah, yeah. True.
Big, make it big. If you're like, oh man, but that city is an hour away. It's too
Oh,
far.
come on, man.
If you
You're
want
right.
to 7 hours just for 1 day, then 1 hour is nothing, man.
Yeah, well, I always heard those stories from maestros where they were like, well, I used to travel hours, like 12 hours from this place to that place to train. Saying,
Train, yeah, man, and that's it. The world is so small, and yet it's getting bigger for some people, because of their mindset. You should
yeah,
just. When I started training capoeira, I traveled all the way to train every week in a city like an hour and a half away just to train, and I went to The Hague with my master to train, and I went to events to train. And when we heard like Mestre Accordion and Mestre João Grande, they were an event in
that's dope.
last year. And I was like, okay, I had seen Mestre Accordion a few times. We even sang with him all night long. It was so.
Oh man,
Mestre João Grande was there. I never met him. I was like, I want to see Mestre João Grande. Yeah, but
of
it's a
course.
6 hour drive. I'm like, I don't care. Let's go. And my teacher, my friend, he just had a car accident. The doctor told him, you cannot walk, you cannot do anything. So I was like, okay, but we need to see Mestre João Grande. So I will drive,
Yeah.
just sit there and drink coffee. Let's go. And we went to the event, and Mestre João Grande was teaching, and he just started doing capoeira right away. My friend, he was
Oh,
he,
cool.
he was doing bananeira, au, queda de rins, everything,
He
ponte.
forgot about it.
He forgot all about it.
That's
It was
awesome.
really cool. Yeah.
That's really cool. Like a capoeira just can like move you and
Yeah.
make you forget.
And the thing is, in capoeira, besides soccer and other stuff, we can meet our idols. We can
Yeah.
train with
Oh,
these
for
men.
sure. Yeah.
And you can train. I've met Mestre Accordion, Suassuna, Espirami, Mestre Grande, Mestre Curió, Mestre Boca Rica, all
Oh,
these
nice.
masters, Mestre Pelé de Bomba, all these masters, and Boa Gente, Mestre Russo, Mestre Zé Pequeno, all these masters. And you can not only meet them, but you can like talk to them or connect with them.
Yeah.
Have a
Shake
have
their
a
hands and be like,
shake
oh
their
my
hands,
god.
and
Yeah.
it's not like, hey, master, but they also ask you questions. They want to get,
Yeah.
it's like connection, and I think it's so wonderful about capoeira.
It is. It is. Yeah. Like for example, one day I went to New York, and Mr. Tony Vargas was there, and I was with
Oh,
Mr. Tony Vargas all day.
I
Man,
love his music.
talking,
I love
had
his music.
lunch with him. Man, it was like one of my idols because I heard like Mr. Tony Vargas so many times. I was like, man, this guy is so cool, and I
Yeah.
got to meet him. I was
Oh,
like, man,
did he sing at the event? Did he sing?
oh for sure, yeah.
Oh
He,
man, that was
anywhere he goes,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's dope,
This
man.
is
He's
cool.
just
Some
awesome.
meshes you can meet, like we had with Mesh Cameliao and Mesh Accordion and stuff. With Mesh João Grande, after the event, we went to the Rhine, the big river in Germany, and we
Okay.
just sat there swimming with like only 20 people. And Mesh João Grande was there, and I was sitting next to him on a
Oh,
bench,
cool.
and he was just asking for cookies, and we were just having fun in the sun. People went for a swim, and the vibe was so relaxed. It was yeah. This is one of the beautiful things about capoeira.
And you have those guys that they have so much experience and they have met so many people.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
I think I don't think there are a lot of sports where after a certain age and after a certain athletic peak, you're still that much appreciated. Only in capoeira. In capoeira, like a famous soccer player, when he's reached 60, nobody, it's like, ah,
Yeah,
cool, that's it. That's it. They're not doing a
yeah,
lot. Maybe doing some commercials. But in capoeira, if you're like master and you're like 80 years or 70 years, people like worship you, man, because of your
yeah.
knowledge, because of your capoeira experience, because of
Yes.
your philosophies, your music. Maybe you can still, maybe you cannot play capoeira physically, but you can still play capoeira here and here and with your beating bow. So yeah, I think it's wonderful that we never forget to appreciate and value the older masters and the ones who pioneered this beautiful art.
That's awesome. No, that's
Yeah.
really cool, man. That's what I love about these too, because I've seen so many people, so many masters, all masters that they keep saying, like this is a road where I'm still learning. Like it's a learning process every day, every time, and it's never stop.
Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome, man. Well, man, thank you so much for your time. It was
Thank
my
you.
pleasure, man. Thank you so much, and keep in touch. We'll still we'll talk through internet or whatever. Whenever you are in the US and you're in Indianapolis, make sure you say hi here.
I'll have to visit the United States. One day my path will lead me there, man, I'm sure.
Yes, but I definitely will go to Holland too.
You're most welcome, man. Hook me up. Try to visit us. I'm gonna introduce you to the masters, to the teachers. We're gonna travel,
Cool.
see the whole country. It's not that big, but there's a lot to see.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Valeu.
Hey, what's up? I hope you really like this video, and I hope you enjoyed this interview because I did, and I enjoy all these interviews. Please turn the notifications, the bell notification on, and also please subscribe. Also comment down below what do you think about this interview and every interview you have seen so far. Please comment and also join the Capoeira podcast. I am looking for people to interview. Comment down below in the comments who would you like to listen in the podcast. What kind of experience do you want to listen? Let me know because I want to know your experience as well. And also please share with your friends, share with your Capoeira community, and let them know that here is a podcast for everybody in the Capoeira community to listen, even if they don't do Capoeira, for them to understand why you do Capoeira. Join me, share with your friends, comment down below, turn notification on, and subscribe. Peace.